Okay guys, so what we have here is a 2003 F-150 Super Crew with 5.4 2-valve motor. It's got 244,000 miles. This truck is about 2 weeks old to me. I've had it about 2 weeks now. And I've noticed it puffs a little white smoke on startup. Kind of looks like just a little puff, and then till it warms up, it's fine. It warms up, it's fine. It runs good. No issues. But I think due to the cold startup, I think what's happening is I think there's a head gasket problem. There's coolant getting into the cylinder on the left bank here. I think this is cylinder 1 through 4 right here. It's this side. I've kind of went through the usual suspects of the coil packs and plugs, even the intake manifold, which is prone to crack on these. They're plastic. They're prone to crack. I started to do that last night actually, and discovered that the previous owner had put a new intake on it, so it's got pretty much a brand new one on there. It's a Dorman. That's because it's what I bought from Advance. So I took it back. Now what I'm trying now is this maybe too good to be true, but there's this stuff called bar leaks, head gasket sealant. I don't know how well it'll work. There's several different kinds of this. Some of them have claims that they will stop a head gasket leak. You just pour it in the radiator and then off you go. But they're about $40 a bottle. Some are as high as $65 a bottle. I think that's the blue something, Blue Falcon. I don't know. But anyway, this was like $12, I think. And this is a little different because it says you add to radiator only after removing antifreeze. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm draining the radiator. And I happen to have one of these Prestone flush and fill kits. So I put that in line with this heater hose over here. Right there. I got the cap off to kind of vent to the atmosphere. And I've got the radiator cap off, or should I say the overflow tank cap. There's really no radiator cap on these. So now I'm just waiting for the radiator to drain. You see the ball cock down there draining. We've got a hose on it, draining into a bucket. So what I'd like to do is document how this goes. The next steps, it says, is to drain it all out and flush it to just water. Drain and completely flush antifreeze from cooling system and overflow tank. Use a flush T with garden hose works best. If cooling system is dirty, use a quality flush following manufacturing instructions. All antifreeze must be removed or clogging may occur. Okay, so stay tuned. All right, so I wanted to talk a second about these trucks. There's a lot of debate on the internet about, the intake manifold cracking, what the symptoms are. This truck doesn't really have the symptoms of the intake manifold crack. Like I said, it's been replaced recently, it would seem. There's no leaking under the engine. Typically, from what I've read, the intake manifold will crack and then it will soak the spark plug holes with coolant. So if you know anything about these trucks, the spark plugs are pretty far down in the head, so it's easy to get stuff down in there. And then the crazy thing is they can continue to run pretty well, but what will happen is there's a spring that is part of the coil pack that hooks the coil pack to the spark plug, and that spring will actually rust. And as you probably know, rusty metal doesn't conduct electricity very well, so it will start to misfire. And that's what this truck's problem is. It's got a misfire. And I've cleared the check engine light several times with my OBD2, or whatever it is, OBD4 Bluetooth reader in my phone. So we'll see how it goes. There's not a lot of information on the internet about these miracle head gasket cures. I mean, this is just a hobby for me, so I'm just gonna see how it works. I mean, if this truck probably needs a new motor at the end of the day. I mean, it still runs pretty good and has decent power. I mean, I've had other crew cabs like this, and with way less miles, had about 60,000 miles on an 02, and it feels exactly the same to me power wise. So this truck's had a lot of work done to it. It came with a lot of service history with it. It had a lot. So the coil packs have been swapped twice that I can tell, and plugs have been swapped twice. I think in trying to chase this misfire. And I noticed the other night when I cleared the check engine light that it had 800 and some odd miles on the check engine light. So I mean, it still drives great with that even on. So it's just that little misfire at startup when it's cold. But anyway, like I said, we'll see how it goes. All right, so now I've got the radiator flushed. It's still kind of dripping a little bit. That's water. Run out over there a little bit. But I had to wait until it ran clear out of the radiator down there. I think we can see that maybe. There he is. Still running clear. No green, so that's good. So let's see what our next directions are here. Okay. Antifreeze must be removed or clogging must come first. Shake well, mix head gasket sealant in a bucket or container, approximately 3 quarts of warm water. Interesting. Which is in here. 20 ounces. So we need to go figure out 3 quarts warm water. Okay, I did another flush just for good measure. Water's running pretty clear. I mean, that's nasty crap in there right now. So what I've been doing is taking a heater hose, sticking it in there, and then looking at the color as it runs out. It's pretty clear. So I mean, there's what the coolant looked like. There's what it looks like now. It looks black because it's just bad lighting. But anyway, it's clear. Now, on to the mixing. Found me a bucket or a little jug for some quarts of warm water. All right, so I realized that I got to put 3 quarts plus 20 ounces. I guess that's almost 4 quarts, 4.5-ish quarts back in the system, and it was all like right up to the line, so I'm draining more water out.